Hi, and welcome to TalentAlign Essentials, the IT Manager's Guide to Human Capital Management. This is the first and introductory webinar in which you will learn what TalentAlign Essentials is about and what other topics you can expect in the future. In about 2005, people costs were just 30% of the IT budget. Today, people costs are generally between 60 and 80% of the IT budget. It has never been more important than right now for IT managers to play a more active role in the management of their people. It's never been more important for IT managers to show a return on their investment in IT human capital. In this series of videos called TalentAlign Essentials, it's aimed at guiding IT managers in the role that they need to be playing in the management of their human capital. They will show how this role is no longer the sole domain of HR, but is rather a shared responsibility, with IT managers accepting the responsibility of ensuring a return on investment in their IT human capital. There is some confusion still today between the term HR and human capital. In this series of mini webinars, we hope to guide you along the road to not only understanding what the difference is, but also enable you to travel the road yourself in your organization and understand the role that the manager needs to play in their IT human capital management. There are 12 or more topics that we will be covering in this series. These will be introduced to you in this first webinar in the series so that you will know what you can look forward to. So let's get started with laying the foundation. I'm Gayles and I'm your host today for this webinar. I'm the founder of TalentAlign, where we help our clients create a workplace where passion and purpose come together and help IT managers get a return on their investment in IT human capital. My background is IT. I was a programmer, analyst, and ended up my IT technical career as a business analyst specializing in financial systems and business intelligence. After successfully completing the MBA program at the University of Cape Town, I went into sales, marketing, and management, and found myself specifically interested in IT people, their growth and development, their careers, and how to effectively manage return on investment in people in IT. I sincerely hope that you will find TalentAlign Essentials rewarding and worth the investment of your time. Please feel free to share them with your colleagues and peers. TalentAlign Essentials aims to bring you the basic, essential learning needed to create and manage your human capital management processes and activities. Each lesson is designed to take between 10 and 15 minutes, so you won't have to spend hours in training. But we will bring you the essential information to help you build your human capital management capability and improve processes for better implementation and governance. Where applicable, we will provide you with tools to assist you, and we will provide hints and quick tips based on our experience with designing, creating, and implementing human capital management systems. For more information, you can go to our blog, www.ithrguru.com. You can go to the knowledge base at www.talentalign.com, or you can try the longer facilitated programs also on www.talentalign.com. So welcome to TalentAlign Essentials. We hope that you enjoy the learning. It's an indisputable fact the world of people management is changing, and changing in major ways that are going to impact one way or another almost everyone concerned with managing IT people today and in the future. The big questions are, what are these changes? How will they impact the role of HR? How are they going to impact my role as manager? How do I learn about them? How do we implement them in our organization? On the one side, management today want to have demonstrable proof of the impact of HR practices and interventions on the bottom line of the organization. And on the other hand, HR people want to be taken seriously by the C-suite. To be most effective, HR and IT management today need to understand what the different roles and responsibilities are, and especially how to balance these responsibilities between the roles to get the greatest return. It's not easy to proactively find out about these changes, as most information is still about where we are and not where are we going. So TalentAlign is producing a number of webinars that cover the latest ideas and techniques to help you, the IT manager, attract, develop, and retain the skills and keep the businesses growing. Let us look first at HR's role. This view of HR's changing role was well depicted by Boudreau and Ramsted in the book Beyond HR, published in 2008. This does not mean that the roles involved in control and services will become redundant. Far from it. It means that HR's role is starting to extend beyond control and services into the sphere of business intelligence and analyzing the impact of actions and interventions so that better information is available for business decision making related to the workforce. In the control environment, HR practitioners create value through ensuring good governance, reliable administration, and compliance with rules, regulations, and standards, both internal and external. This remains a crucial element to effective human resource management. In the service environment, HR practitioners focus on compensation and benefits, staffing and training, and how to offer these services more effectively and cost efficiently to the business. This environment is further augmented by supplying information and statistics that lead to better decisions relating to these services. These services remain vital to organizational success and efficiency. In the decisions environment, HR practitioners understand, through data management, analytics, and applied statistics, what practices have the greatest impact in terms of return on investment, and what drivers of people performance have the greatest impact on organizational performance, and they partner with business management to ensure better decision making. In the TalentAlign Essentials webinar, we will take you on a journey that brings together some of the key activities and tools that will help you, the IT manager, to make better decisions regarding how you apply human capital management in your organization. Please note, John Boudreau is a member of the incredibly strong team that makes up the Center for Effective Organizations, or CEO, at the University of Southern California. This team provides some serious thought leadership on making people the most important asset of the organization. The key differences between the responsibilities of HR and the responsibilities of line management are: HR processes are about people management and include processes such as compensation management, recruitment and selection, training and development management, wellness management, and policy development and maintenance. Line management responsibilities, on the other hand, are those that drive economic value through people and include organization design, capability management, competency management, career management, employee engagement, and workforce and succession planning. In the middle is performance management. It's in the middle because if you have a performance appraisal system against which performance over the past 6 months is reviewed from a reward perspective, this does not drive performance and therefore does not add value to the organization per se, and so fits in the HR space. If you have a methodology that considers proactive management of performance, where performance meetings happen weekly, monthly, or as often as needed, this helps drive performance, which, depending on the metrics used, also drives organizational performance. This then fits on the right-hand side. So what makes the right-hand side human capital management, and therefore the responsibility of line management, is the fact that all of these processes, if done correctly and based on organizational strategy, will help to drive economic value and business performance. And this is the responsibility of line management. So to prove this point, let me ask you some questions, and please answer as honestly as you can. On the left is the question, and on the right are 2 columns, one for HR, one for line management. For each question, you need to decide who goes down if. Are you ready? Right. Who goes down if IT can't deliver projects or initiatives? Who goes down if IT doesn't have skills to meet the goals? Who goes down if IT people are not performing optimally? Or IT has the wrong people in key positions? Who goes down if IT is losing its top talent? Or necessary IT skills are not being developed? Or there's no succession planning in IT? Who goes down if IT is not delivering value to the business? What job profiles are not available after one of these quick restructuring? Who goes down? It's not HR. And now on to the program. If we are building knowledge to understand the responsibilities of IT line management in human capital management, the first thing that we need to understand is what we mean by human capital and how this is different from human resource. This is not going to be a Finance for Financial Managers webinar, but we will be going through the key financial concepts as they are generally understood and showing you why we believe that people are assets of the organization and not an expense in financial terms, and why human capital management is therefore the responsibility of management facilitated by HR where necessary. We will look at the fundamental accounting equation, the basic reporting statements of the organization and what they mean, and look at which elements affect which of the statements of the organization. The aim of this webinar is to equip you with the knowledge to be able to converse persuasively with senior management and the C-suite in the language that they use for business decisions. The next program in the series of webinars will be on human capital strategy. IT human capital strategy is a process, and it all starts with organization strategy. IT strategy takes its lead from the organization's strategy and goals, and the role that IT needs to play to help the organization achieve this. Once the IT strategy is in place, the next question is, what capabilities are needed to achieve this strategy? And then, what roles are needed to be included to provide the capabilities? The next question is, how should this be organized for best effect? There are many ways to structure an organization, so this stage is vitally important. Once the structures are in place, the competencies needed for the different roles in the structure need to be identified. How the competencies will be rewarded and how performance will be defined and measured. At that stage, the future organization is defined. It is then necessary to assess what changes need to be made to the current organization to move effectively to the required future organization. And finally, action plans put into place that will take the organization on the journey from current to the future. This will be covered more fully in the TalentAlign Essentials program on IT human capital strategy. After human capital strategy, the first webinar will cover the fundamental areas included in human capital strategy. So, capability mapping, what the organization needs to do to deliver strategy. Organization design, the structure needed to deliver strategy. And there are three structures, the capability structure, the reporting structure, and the career structure. Career and competency management, how people are able to grow and develop in the organization. Engagement, this is not a happiness metric, it's a metric of quality of management. Workforce and succession planning, a risk mitigation strategy to ensure that the organization has the resources to deliver its strategy. And performance management that links individual performance to organizational performance. These elements are part of the design process of the organization, and the outcomes of these processes form the foundation for human capital strategy. If these are not present, it will not be possible to create, implement, and monitor a successful human capital strategy. These processes give authenticity to the human capital strategy. Business capabilities are the abilities the organization needs to have to be able to achieve its strategy. They describe what the organization does rather than how it does it, and are the essential building blocks that a business architect defines in order to create a story of the business. Capability mapping is the organization of the capabilities into some logical form that describes the business and that can be refined down to the smallest essential element. A good understanding of business capabilities of an organization is essential for business process design, organization design, and competency design and management. An integral part of human capital strategy is organization design. Organization design is so much more than moving boxes around a sheet of paper. Organization design is fundamental to the strategy of the organization, be it the organization as a whole, a department, or a team. There are 6 key considerations for organization design. 1. It is driven by business strategy and operational context, not a new IT system or a new leader. It is the decision about how the capabilities should be structured for optimum effect. 3. It is holistic, taking into consideration structures, people, systems, processes, culture, performance measures, etc. 4. It is a design for the future, not just for today. It must be taken seriously. It is resource intensive and unsettling. And design is a fundamental process, not a repair job. Many times we see IT organizations being redesigned 2 or 3 times in a year. This is not design, and it is not strategic. It is just shuffling the deck chairs. In the organization design webinar, we will look at a process for organization design to ensure that the outcomes meet the objective. Career and competency management is one of the most powerful strategic activities that IT managers can perform today and should not be left to HR to either initiate, implement, or manage. And here's why. Career and competency management fulfills 2 purposes. 1. Retention. It defines how people grow and develop in the organization. And 2. It's risk mitigation. It ensures that competencies are developed so that the organization can fulfill its capabilities and achieve its goal. Think back to the tick sheet we did earlier. These are clearly management responsibilities. Career management is a process that plans and shapes the progression of individuals within an organization and in accordance with organizational needs and objectives. And for employees, it helps define performance potential and their preferences. In a nutshell, it is the integration of the individual's objectives with those of the organization. A typical career management program helps employees to assess their own career strengths and weaknesses, set priorities and specific career goals. It provides information on various career paths and alternatives within the organization. And it offers employees regular reviews of their progress towards these goals. These reviews are conducted by managers who are trained to conduct competency assessments. Competencies are capabilities. You remember we spoke about capabilities earlier, taken down to individual role level. The link between people management and the overall strategic plan of an organization. There are observable abilities, skills, knowledge, motivations, and behaviors needed for successful job performance. And competency management is a set of management practices that identify and optimize the skills and competencies required to deliver on the organization's business strategy. It provides the foundation to manage strategic talent management practices, such as workforce planning, acquiring top talent, and developing employees to optimize their strengths. Employee engagement is the result of a research undertaken by Gallup Corporation at the turn of the century. The question to be answered was, what impact does good management have on organization success? It is all detailed in the book First Break All the Rules by Marcus Buckingham and Kurt Kaufman, and published in 1999. There are a number of definitions of employee engagement, but this is my definition. It is the extent to which an employer is committed to the success of the organization. Hands up those who don't want committed employees. But this is not an employee satisfaction survey. No, It's a survey of how well the leader of a group of people achieves commitment to the organization from their direct reports. So it is a measure of the manager, not the employees. Too often, organizations confuse it with employee satisfaction. So they do an analysis once a year and report back on what the overall score is. That is just completely missing the point. Employee engagement should be an integral to any leadership development initiative. Leaders should be assessed at the beginning of the initiative and at the end, and each leader from top to bottom should be assessed at least annually to ensure that the correct leadership is in place that can drive organizational performance. This really is a pet subject of mine, so you can expect an interesting 10 to 15-minute webinar on this topic. Strategic workforce planning answers the question, what are our business goals over the next several years and what kind of workforce will we need to reach those goals? Once you know where you want to go, you can identify the type and amount of talent or competencies you need to get there. Understanding and closing the gap between current and projected talent needs can make all the difference in your ability to execute strategy effectively. Workforce and succession planning is about risk management. It is about ensuring that you have the right skills in the right place at the right time and at the right cost. The fact is, human capital is a tangible asset. Human capital yields tangible and intangible results. Human capital can generate a positive or negative rate of return. Human capital risk management can create a sustainable competitive advantage. In this webinar, we will take you through the process of workforce planning and introduce you to some of the tools used to accomplish workforce planning. And we will show you a process for managing the risk of losing the people that are making the most contribution to achieving the strategy and goals of the organization, and identify activities that need to be put in place to mitigate these risks. Performance management today should be about managing performance today, not waiting 6 or 12 months to look back at what happened. Performance management, or more appropriately, performance review, used still in most organizations today, is really only good for one thing. It lets you know whether or not you have performed. It does nothing to help you to manage performance in order to make adjustments and corrections to ensure performance by the end of the period. According to research, this methodology has a 0% correlation with organizational performance. That's right, 0%. So why do we do it? New style performance management is about managing performance as and when needed, on a daily basis if necessary. In this webinar, we will help you to understand what you need to do to change the focus of performance management so that it can become more meaningful to all concerned, management, employees, and especially business results. And we will introduce you to our 3-tier performance management process. You can't manage what you don't measure. It's an old management adage attributed to Peter Drucker that remains accurate today. Unless you measure something, you don't know if it's getting better or worse. You can't manage for improvement if you don't measure to see what is getting better and what isn't. It can be a challenge to measure productivity. Some even consider it immeasurable. The level of productivity within an organization is, without a doubt, a key important indicator of overall company performance. Such an important measure should not be pushed aside, but should rather be incorporated into strategic business plans. In this webinar, we will help you know what to measure and how to improve the performance of IT human capital management to provide value to the organization. We will provide you with some of the key measures of HR success and help you use them effectively in your organization. And we will show you how to measure productivity and how to put in place plans to improve productivity in your organization. And that's the TalentAlign Essentials program, or at least that's the plan. Some of the topics may take longer than the 10 to 15 minutes, in which case we'll split the topic into 2 sessions. Or you may decide to let us know what other topics you would like included in the program, in which case we will try our level best to accommodate you and ensure that you have the learning that you would like. All these webinars are offered free of charge. All you have to do is to keep in touch to know when they will be happening. To keep in touch, you can follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, ITHR Guru blog, or of course you can always send us an email at gayles@talentalign.com. These topics are covered more fully and in more detail in our TalentAlign programs, in which we facilitate and coach you through these processes and adapt them to your needs in your organization. To find out more, you can contact us or visit us on www.talentalign.com. We really hope that you enjoy them and, more importantly, that you learn something from them to improve your leadership skills and drive organizational performance through your people. Well, that's it for now. Till next time, bye for now.